Hi guys, welcome to today's broadcast. I am super late, as you can tell, but I apologize. It's for good reason. It's for very good reason. I'm here, that's all that matters, and we have the lovely Tarshema Harris here with us. So I know Facebook is building an audience, so I'm gonna wait. You guys, okay, push through, come on in. Hi Simone, thanks girl for coming on. I was basically just rambling and saying that we had some difficulties. So hi Jerome. We had a little difficulty, so she was very patient with me. So we're here now, and we're gonna go ahead and go for it. Thank you guys, you're so awesome for jumping on here. Look at this, showing us all the love. So we really appreciate it. I don't like to be late, guys, I promise you. So it really means a lot when you still, get on here. I don't like to take their time for granted at all. And so without further ado, I know people are still jumping on. We're gonna go ahead and get started, and I want to just talk about briefly how I met Tarshema before I give my introduction of who I am and all of that. So really quick, I met her when she had first moved to Atlanta. Well, a couple years, because you moved in 2015, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually 2005. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is one of my really good girlfriends, guys. So I'm super excited to interview her because I've literally watched her evolve over the years. I have watched her progress. I have watched her amazing growth, and I have been like quietly sitting back on social media watching all of your growth. So I'm honored to be here because I've literally been here from the beginning, kind of thing. So this story is gonna be amazing. We met in 2007, y'all. So we go way back, okay? So like I said, I know exactly, her entire journey. So we're gonna dig deep, and we're gonna make sure that we ask some amazing questions. And I pray you guys have your pen, your papers ready, because she's about to drop these nuggets on you right about now. So let's go ahead and start. My name is Fallon Bonner. If this is your very first time hopping onto one of my live feeds, this is the Kingdom Entrepreneur Spotlight, and we are shining the light on Tarshema Harris. She is a realtor, and she is one of the most highly sought after realtors in Atlanta, and I am excited to know her. Like, she's my girlfriend. I'm excited to be affiliated with her, because when it comes to renting, buying, selling a house, she is your girl. She has come in and taken this market by storm. You hear me? But I don't want to give you all the juice. We're gonna get to that really quickly. But on the Kingdom Entrepreneur Spotlight, we shine the light on fearless female entrepreneurs that have literally hearkened to the voice of God, stepped out on faith, launched in what I call the deep, and are flourishing in their careers, in their ministry, whatever God has called them to do. They are literally soaring. So they're here Tarshema's here today to give you her wisdom, to give you insight. So I like to also, the reason why I want to do this is because a lot of times people, you see them and it's like all of a sudden they were an overnight success. At least that's the way it appears on social media. So a lot of times when I see that, I'm like, I need to know, what did she do? How did she do it? And so that's why we wanted to bring these stories to you, these testimonies, so people can really see from the very beginning, the humble beginnings, to where you are now. Because I know you can just wake up and say, all right, I'm running the Atlanta market, And really quick, funny story too, Tarshema and I both were in banking together. That's kind of almost like how we met. We met at a mutual friend's house, housewarming party, and
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, we met at a mutual friend's housewarming party. Crazy thing is, she was sitting in there. I was there by myself. She was there alone, and I came in the kitchen, and she was sitting there, and she has a bubbly personality. So she just started talking to me, small talk, and you know me, I'll talk too. So I'm just sitting here, and we having this conversation. We exchanged numbers. The rest is history. We formed a friendship. We have a whole little group of friends and started hanging out. And so here we are today. So it's just amazing how God connected us. And all these years later, here we are. So we worked at a very renowned bank here in Atlanta, and we were both, they were called financial specialists. So basically a fancy title for a personal banker. So we were the ones, when you come into the bank, we had our little offices, we thought we were doing it. Okay, girl, right?
You need an account.
Right, you need an account. Everybody needs an account. Okay, you need a loan. You need a line of credit. Come on. So we were the girls that literally help you do those things when you come in the bank and you see the people in the offices. But what I did not know, when I saw the nice office, the big glass doors, and this what seemed like a dream job, I didn't realize that, man, you had to bring the heat if you were to sit in that seat. And when I say bring the heat, we had some really hefty sales goals. It was a sales job. I didn't realize that until I had signed on the dotted line. Right, I don't know if you do. So it was basically some hefty sales goals that we had to reach, which is why I was in banking for 4 years, and I was like, peace, I gotta go, because I didn't want that stress level. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys, I want to set the foundation so you can understand the history, you can understand a little bit about Tarshema. So let's dig deep really quick into this interview. All right, girl. So take us back, Tarshema, to when you were in banking. And that's pretty much where everything started. So talk to us about when you were in banking, and like I think you kind of brought me right into where you were in the position where you wanted to move up in the company. So you were a financial specialist, which is a personal banker. So talk to them about that process when you decided it was time for something else.
So I'm going to just kind of rewind a minute.
Okay.
When I came to Atlanta, I didn't know anyone. I have one relative that lives here, literally. And
wow.
So it was, I was leaving my hometown of where I knew everything. I had a career. And I came here to be a nurse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so a nurse. Wow.
I'm not doing anything. And my mother told me, she said, I do not see you being a nurse. I'm sorry, baby, but I just don't. I said, but Mom, I like
Mamas always know, though. They always know.
But she could see it, that was not what it was meant for me to
right.
do. And time unfolded itself, I realized that. So when I left, it was 2005 when I first came to Georgia, and I was in banking, and I wanted to be moved up in my career. I was like, I'm doing these great numbers. I was that girl. You could call on me. My manager could call on me and say, hey, I need this today. We got this going on, this blitz. I need it. And I was going to deliver.
Wow.
I was going to deliver. And
That's
she
powerful.
knew that. I mean, I had dinners and gifts and things because I could always be dependable and accounted upon.
Wow.
And I still am like that to this day. And as a result, every time we would have our annual review, I'm like, I want a management job. I'm trying to get into management. And year after year, I just started continuing to see people just continue to excel above me. And it was not where I wanted to be. And so I started to I really didn't know what I wanted to do at that point. So I started kind of figuring out and praying and asking God, what is it that I should be doing? And nothing just had been prevailed to me. So one day this guy comes in the bank, and fast forward, he was an investor, and I started dating him, and he was like, you should get into real estate. And I was like, I don't know nothing about real estate besides my house. I bought my first house at 21, y'all. So, and I was a little rehabber then. So I always kind of liked it and enjoyed it, but I really didn't know. I hadn't still gotten the word yet that it was time for me to do that.
Okay, and I love that you shared that, and I love that you threw that in there because I forgot to say that part. She said that you mentioned that you purchased your first home at 21.
I did.
That was another thing that I loved, and I don't know if I've ever expressed this to you, that I loved about you and Stephanie and everybody else. They were some go-getters, y'all. Like, we're talking about 2007. They were homeowners, okay? Like, pushing through. I'm over in an apartment. I'm like, I'm trying to be like these girls. So it's always good to have those women around you that they empower you and that you look up to, aspire you to be better than where you are. And my mom always raised us to want more. So when I got around y'all, I was like, now this is my tribe. Like, these are the kind of girls that I want to be around. So I love that. So you already had that drive. So when he come into the bank and he's telling you about real estate, you're like, I've only purchased my own home. I don't know anything about it. So now so basically I took that as he planted the seed. There's always going to be somebody that's going to plant the seed, in your head, and then only God can give the increase. And we'll learn later in this testimony how God began to reveal to you the path that He had for you. Yeah. So you, I know you told me that you decided to go ahead and take the position. You got a position as a branch manager. So she finally was able to move up.
I was, and I thought I was gonna. Well, actually, I ended up having to leave the same person that was telling me, hey, I'm going to help you get there. I had to step out, like, I don't even know if I'm going to lose my job, y'all, and go to another area where my current manager would not be managing me.
Wow.
And that's the only way I was able to get a job.
Okay. And so you're in this role, you're like, okay, I've made it. Like, the first step up, and I have made it. Like, I am the branch manager, and I'm about to take this thing over. Like, in our mind, we just feel like we're about to conquer the world.
I did. I felt like, ooh, I done made it. I was doing things. I was excited.
Right. So, talk to us about what happened 2 weeks after that.
I don't even think, Fallon, it was 2 weeks into it.
Okay.
Some of my close friends, all in our circle, were telling me, you're different. And I was like, I'm just tired, and no one could really understand. But that 2 weeks that I was there, I just saw so much, and I could just feel it in my spirit. Some of you guys who are watching this right now may pull up to your job just like I did. I pulled up to my job and I was in tears, and it still makes me emotional to this day. I would be crying. I was the first one there, the last one leaving. I mean, I had people that was depending on me that I knew that they needed, you know, that just the way that it was designed was just not what I believed in and how people should be treated. And I got sick. I mean, and like, I remember my manager asking me, well, how are you liking the job? And I'm like, it is physically making me sick.
Wow.
2 weeks into my job, I was in the hospital. I had to have 3 blood transfusions, and my mother and father was on the first red eye to Atlanta.
Wow. So let's pause for a second there, because that what you said literally almost just sent chills over me. That was powerful. Like, literally, she was in a position, in a role that was making her physically sick, ill, to the point where, and I know she shared with me that her parents and, you know, close friends and family thought that she possibly was not going to make it, which is why her parents were on the first red eye to Atlanta to see about her. And I think that, you know, this part of the story is so important, because sometimes it's like we don't get it when God is like nudging us and he's pushing us and he's saying, hey, I have this over here for you. I want you to do this. I want you to pursue that. And a lot of times we think it's us and we'll push it to the back of our mind, and he'll have to put us in uncomfortable situations to get our attention. And I believe that's what happened. You were in a very uncomfortable situation. I think and I know you kind of shared with me that you literally saw your life flash before your eyes.
I did. They told me, I don't see how you're alive. I mean, I was walking around, guys, and I was bleeding internally.
Wow.
So when I came into the hospital, I had to have a procedure done where they did an endoscopy. I got a little nose, y'all can see. And they sticking this thick old tube down my throat, and blood went everywhere.
Wow.
So it was not looking good for me. I mean, I can still remember my friends coming to my bedside looking down upon me because I wasn't sure if I was going to make it.
So after this life altering event happens, and you had this almost like, I like to call it this aha moment, like a wake up call.
It was a wake up call.
Something has to change. And so you go home, and I know you told me that, you know, her mom had to come down and take care of her. So you had a lot of downtime to do a lot of what I call soul searching. And it's just you and God. It's you and God, and you like, okay, Jesus, I need to know. Show me what I need to be doing. I believe that's what happened during that time, right? You had a heartfelt cry out to God for him to lead you and guide you.
I did, and my mother came and stayed with me for 6 months. And during that time, it allowed me, I would literally go to work, come home, go in my bedroom, and that was my private time. I was depressed, miserable. I felt broken. I didn't have any support system. I couldn't just leave my job because I was engaged to be married when I moved here to Atlanta, and that had just broke up as well. So I didn't have anything or anyone that I'm like, and mind you, all my family lives away. Do I pack up my bags? Do I keep going? What do I do? My mother tells me I'm not a nurse. So what do I do? You know, and it was, but God, you know.
Okay, yes.
So the gentleman who came into the bank, he was coming into the bank actually to try to talk to me because, you know, working at the bank.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
It's like they come in like
vultures. So 9 months in, I finally decided to talk to him and get to know him better. And he was doing real estate, and he was building his baby. So in dating him, he starts to tell me about real estate more, what I should do. Well, y'all, by the time I had moved to Atlanta, I had bought 2 additional houses. So now I have 2 additional houses.
She's a go-getter, I'm telling you.
And these people, I done bought one house, I've rented it out, they're not paying their bills, all while all of this is going on. So I had a heavy burden on my back. And the guy that I was dating started to tell me, hey, why don't you start getting into real estate with me? We started doing some things. The first deal that we did together, y'all, was my very own house.
Wow.
My very own house was one of the deals that we had did together, and I had to short sell my house. So if anybody doesn't know what that means, like I was in the verge, I was behind on my mortgage payments. All the while I'm trying to figure all of this out. Well, the lady who was the realtor at the time, I was not in real estate, she was busy, and I'm like, I need to do whatever I need to do to save my house. So I started getting very involved. So that's how I started to say, learn. I want to help someone else that's going through what I'm going through, and that's when the revelation came that that's what I should be doing.
Wow. So it took a personal story, like a personal situation where you were literally about to lose your house, you were behind on payments, you had to do this quick short sale, and so all of a sudden, and it's amazing how, and I say this all the time, like your gift and what God has called you to do, it is directly connected to the thing that you're passionate about. So you become, you all of a sudden had this overwhelming sense of like, I want to pay this forward and I want to help someone else feel this exact same way. I want to help someone else that may be in a similar situation, may be about to lose their home, or have never experienced the American dream of becoming a homeowner.
Oh, yes.
So you had this, you were basically like in hot pursuit of like, I'm on fire and I just want to help people have this same feeling and have this same experience that I just experienced.
I do.
Okay.
And so, you can do it.
Yes. So let's talk about, so at this point now mind you, she's still at the bank. So she didn't just jump out right away. And it's funny that she used that term jump because that's what Steve Harvey talks about. I've read, he has a book called Jump. And he talk about literally just stop thinking about it. And if God is leading you to do it, jump. And you know what happens when you jump. It's like a quick move. Like you just go. And so that's basically what you did.
I did.
You jumped.
I did.
Talk to us about when you jumped, girl.
My mom always tells me, she's like, you do things that I would never do.
Wow.
Well, first of all, I prayed about it. And I had to kind of like wait because I naturally am a person that I want to like take action and take control of something. But my job, if I leave, I don't have a job.
Wow.
So as a result of working with him and doing things, investing, y'all, I'm out putting out signs, doing things. We like to keep our nails clean. I'm not, but I had to get dirty with it. So
tell the truth, girl.
I did, and that was the revelation of, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, in doing the investments, I started going to houses, learning more about the business, but I still didn't have my license.
Okay.
During this time, now the market has crashed.
Wow.
So this is now the market has crashed. All these houses that are available on the market back then, but I mean, the market had tanked, so people are afraid. Yes. They don't know what to do. Nobody's really like trying to buy real estate. People are losing their homes. So it was the right time, right position for me to be in to be able to help people. So
I want to stop you right there, just for 1 second, because as you were speaking, it literally dropped in my spirit. Okay, she said the housing market tanked, but how many of you know when God called you to do something, it doesn't matter about the market tanking. It doesn't matter if He told you go and mow lawn. He can have you the best lawnmower, and He can literally make you a millionaire doing that. When my pastor said that, I had amazing revelation. It doesn't matter. It's about at thy word, meaning what God has told you to do. So here you are. You have this in the back of your mind. You are miserable at your 9 to 5. You're kind of doing this real estate as a side hustle. Here it is. The market has tanked. So to y'all, listen, it sounds like a disaster. It literally sounds like a recipe for disaster. But come on, let me tell you, when God get involved, it's nothing that the enemy can do to stop what He has for you. And she's about to bring us home on this story. So here, I wanted to pause. I wanted to bring things to perspective. I want people to really understand you had a big decision to make.
I did.
And you literally threw it all at our Father's feet. You said, okay, God, I cannot do this. I don't know what to do. I am miserable here, but I feel this tugging in my spirit, and I know you are telling me to go this way. It seems crazy. It doesn't make sense to my natural mind because I have bills to pay. God, don't you know I got a mortgage?
I do.
I have a car note. I like to get my nails. Come on, I need to get my nails.
And I was trying to keep up with them. So your family's always been a fashionista. So I was trying to keep, and I had no idea. Everybody around me, when I was losing my home, my mother, as a mother would, she and my sister were telling me, come back to Virginia.
Wow.
You can come and live with me. But I was like, that's not where I'm supposed to be at. I just kept getting pulled and said, that's not where I'm supposed to be. I literally took the money out of my 401k. Ooh. And I said, I'm going to live off my 401k. And I did not have anyone that was there to help me. Now, I will tell you, the same guy that I was dating, I was like, okay, well, maybe he'll help me. Yeah. So I was like, but I'm not married. Right. So I don't, because and I want to say that because it's so important, because I was living in fear, as a lot of people do. I was like, I was finding every excuse not to do it, when instead of just standing on God's word that He was going to protect me and was going to be there and help walk each step with me.
Every step.
So when I decided to do that, I had a conversation with him, and he said, I will support you.
Wow.
I will help you. And that still says a lot, but somebody really doing it was still going to be walking by faith.
That's
of
right.
Like, this is what because I still had to take action.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring you fast forward and bring it all full circle. I was doing the investment thing, and we were having people that were not showing us the houses, which are the realtors that are supposed to show you the house. But it was so many houses on the market, they couldn't be everywhere at one time.
Right.
A lot of people were getting out of real estate, so the amount of I'm getting into it while everybody else is getting out.
That's what I love, because it's the perfect setup for God. It seems like the impossible situation.
Girl.
That's the time for him to show up and do a miraculous work. That's when he does his best work, I believe, when it seems impossible.
It was literally
Amazing.
crazy for me to probably get in when I got in, because the market was the way that it is. And the market where people were making the real money, like back in the day with real estate, I still never seen that, y'all. So I know the best hasn't even arrived yet.
Yes, that's right.
So
Still
it's still to come. But what ended up happening was I was looking at there's a sheet that we look at. It's a settlement statement. I said, these realtors are making this type of money. I said, and they never even show us a house. We tell them what we want to pay. They didn't do anything. So I said, okay, somebody on the team needs to get licensed, because we became partners. I said, somebody on the team needs to get licensed.
Right.
He said, that'll be you. I was like, huh? And so it voluntold. So y'all, I wasn't working. I went to school. I looked up a real estate school.
Because I don't know if we told. Did you tell them that when you actually jumped, when you walked away?
Oh, so when I walked away.
Yes.
I cashed out my 401k.
Okay, so you gave a 2-week notice, and you gave your 2-week notice, and you were like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. I have to go. I'm pursuing something else, maybe outside of the field, whatever, whatever we kind of put up to let them know that we're transitioning out of that role.
Correct.
And so I want to talk about that day. So you put in that notice, and you're walking out to your car. I don't know, because I know when I was there, when I put in my 2-week notice, they was like, you can go ahead. You go ahead and leave the jack right now. You go ahead and put your, all your little pass, everything, just go ahead and just bow gracefully, bow out gracefully, kind of thing. So, I know that, which was fine by us, because by that time, we're like, I am ready to go. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
So you're walking out of the office, and you walk into your car. What is going through your mind?
What now?
Wow.
Like, I really just left my job. I was like, okay. I was counting every nickel.
Wow.
I had calculated how much money my 401k was going to be, which was not a lot. I had calculated the vacation they were still going to pay for. I was counting every penny.
Wow.
Mind you, I'm also behind on my mortgage payments, and I don't know. So that means I have agreed to give them this house back. So now, not only do I not have a job, I don't have a place to live.
This is not a faith walk. If this don't jack up your faith, I don't know what it is. Because like I said, this story literally sounds like a recipe for disaster. But we serve an awesome God.
Oh, yes.
He can't do anything but fail. I mean, he is literally in the miracle working business. In 2017, right now, this day and age. And so you're walking out, and I love the fact that you were very transparent, and you said, basically, what am I going to do? And then instantly, fear started to creep in, because you're talking about, your mortgage, you're behind, all these different things, and what am I going to do? So you go home, you start praying, and you were already kind of doing the real estate a little bit on the side. So I guess at this point, this is when you decided, I'm going to just jump head first and just dive into real estate. Because at this point, I'm in the position where I could sink or swim kind of thing. Okay. So you started doing real estate, and talk to us about, the test. Because and I want you to talk about the test. What is it called? The test that you guys had to take.
The real estate exam.
Real estate exam. Because when we were in banking, we had to be licensed to sell investment products and things like that. And we had to have a Series 6 and 63, and that test was a beast. Okay, so you had 3 ties, 3 strikes, and you were out of there. You lost your job. So I know that she told me that she didn't have, and I want you guys to really hear this, she did not have a college degree, okay?
Oh, yeah.
She did not have a college degree, right? So did you ever pass, did you pass your investment test?
No, that's another thing.
So that's what I want to talk about.
I didn't pass the investment exam. They told me when I got the job, if I didn't pass the investment exam, I didn't have a job.
Yeah. It's contingent. It is contingent upon that.
To this day, I had never shared that with anybody because I had to keep it on the low because the same manager, I will tell you, the same manager who was always pressing me to do, she knew that I could always get those numbers. Right. So they created a job for me without me having my license.
Wow. Okay. So, and I think I wanted her to share that part because when she went to take her real estate exam, she aced it. She knocked it out the park the first time. So it's to me, and that's when I think you shared with me, that's when you realize I'm in my lane.
This is what I'm
in my lane. I am flowing. This is the will of God 100% because it was sweatless.
It was.
There was no toil. You know, the word says that, I think it's in Proverbs, the blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich and it add no toil with it. That means no struggle. Mm-hmm. That means you're not going to be stressed and complaining, and it's going to come like it's going to flow in. It's going to overtake you. And that's basically what happened here with Tarshema. Like, she literally, the blessing, it just took over. And it flowed. And so you shared with me that, and you can go ahead and pick up from the story. So you passed your exam the first time, which is a work of the Lord.
Yes,
girl. I know that test is a beast as well. I've heard about it. So you passed this test. And so now talk to us about, because I love to get into the mindset. What are you thinking at this point?
Okay, so I have this license.
Yes.
So now what?
Right.
And so and this is another thing, I only got my real estate license just for the investment part of it.
Oh, wow.
I never got it to be in retail. And I like to say retail, meaning I'm selling to the retail public, traditionally people who need to buy or sell a home.
Amazing.
I didn't get my license for that.
Wow.
I got it just so that I could have access to the multiple listing service, which is a private service that if you're not a realtor, you can't use.
Gotcha.
And it was merely all for the investment business. So, let me tell y'all guys, but all along, I told you I'm doing this with my partner, who's my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, he's my boyfriend, but he's not my husband. So, 2012, I got my license.
Okay.
And I would tell people, and I often tell the new agents that come in, honey, 2012, I was play realtor. 2013, I was play realtor. 2014, play realtor, meaning I really wasn't doing all that God had already told me. I'm planting this seed in you. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be touching lives with this.
Now, and so, but I know you also said, even though she was like kind of dabbling, she hadn't like fully jumped. She wasn't like all in. You were making more than what you were making in your 9 to 5 at the bank.
I was. That's why I wasn't working as hard.
More.
Yes.
So she was cruising. She was like, okay, this is.
I was on cruise control.
Yeah.
I wasn't my life just turned around. Like, from having jacked up credit, from having not one, but 2 houses be behind and have to sell 2 houses as a short sale, not knowing where I was going to come from, not having any steady income, not doing, then when I get some money, not doing what I was supposed to be doing with filing my tax returns on time, just everything that I was not supposed to be doing correctly because I was in fear. Right. And so when I left the bank, it was a substantial increase in my business as far as my income was concerned. And I wasn't working nearly as hard.
So your first home, did you like, how soon after you left did you sell your first home?
Within the first 3 months, because people love, like, and trust me. So within the first 3 months.
We go, hold on. That's called favor.
Yeah.
Okay. That is called favor.
It was.
So here we are 90 days later. Like, you know, we go back 90 days and she's walking out the bank like, what am I going to do, God? I don't understand. And then he gives her a word.
And it was a cash buyer. So it was quick.
Woo! Won't he do it? That is amazing. So here you are, and you're trying to figure out, God, what am I supposed to do? And I love at thy word, meaning when all you need is one word from God.
That's it.
He gave her one word, real estate. Go forth. She was obedient to that one word, which was real estate, and go forth. And 3 months later, 90 days, y'all know 3 months will go by so fast.
It will.
3 months later, here you are with this large check. You sold your first home, had a cash sale, and you're cruising.
Yeah.
And you're making more than what you made at your 9 to 5. Something that you were afraid. She was afraid to walk away from. And I want to take this time now in the broadcast to just talk about those that may be sitting and you're tuned in and you're afraid. you are afraid to jump. Of course, I want to always caution you to pray and make sure you hear from God. But whatever he tells you to do, I promise you, just know that you have all of heaven backing you and you cannot fail. He is going to have your back 110%. I'm a living witness and she is a living witness that God will provide every single one of your needs. Just stop sitting on your gift. There are people that are waiting on you. They're waiting on your services. They're waiting on only this one thing that only you can do. It's literally, you're the only person in the world that can do it the way that God has set up for you to do it. So I just want to take a moment to just, if you're dealing with fear, cast it down. God did not give us a spirit of fear. And go forth and do what he's called. Yeah, just jump. Go forth and trust him, and don't look to the right or to the left. Stay focused on that, at that word, whatever word he gave you, and don't share your dream with people that because God didn't give that vision and he didn't give them that word. So a lot of times that's hard. That was even hard for me. You have to share it with people that you know that are going to be in agreement with you, or they're gonna, just gonna understand. If you know they're gonna kind of be going to the right, to the left, this is a fragile time. So you got to protect that baby, okay? You got to protect it until you give birth. So now we're going to jump back into the story here, because this is about to get really good now.
Oh, you didn't tell them about my team leader.
Yes. So go ahead and tell them about that real quick. So we're about to bring you like all the way how she literally kind of came into where she's at right now.
So my, at the time when I was working at the bank, I used to, we often, like Fallon said in the beginning, you look at other people and you look at what they're doing. My dream is not going to be your dream. And I encourage you to pray. Do just exactly what Fallon says, because one of the things that's on my mirror in my bathroom is a faith of a mustard seed. Y'all know how small a mustard seed is?
I told y'all she's going to drop some nuggets.
Faith of a mustard seed. Yes. My mother always tells me, pray. Before you do anything and everything, you pray and you give God thanks for the little things.
That's right.
So even when I was in my lowest, I still remain faithful, praying, going to church, asking God, just what am I supposed to be doing?
That's good.
So while I was admiring, I took what I thought was the worst point in my life, and I turned it into a blessing, because the real estate, what I was directly impacted by, ended up being the best thing to ever happen to me.
Wow.
So
I wish this wasn't live. We can roll that back and repeat that.
I would tell you, if anybody that just is, I mean, if I could jump out and touch you and just shake you right now and just say, move.
Ooh.
Just get out of that comfort, because when we get out of our comfort zone, we also go to the same church as well and fellowship together, and our pastor talks about prosperity all the time.
Yes.
Like, God does not want you to live in lack.
That's right.
Nor does he want you to live in fear. So I just encourage you to just jump. So I always look at sometimes other people, and you be saying, oh, they got it all going on. Even sitting here in front of you, I don't have it all going on, but I can tell you where I came from and where I'm at now.
That's right. Amen.
So there was a lady that used to come into the bank all the time, and she was cute and had all her little nice heels on.
She
was pushing. I was like, oh, I want to be like her. Because although I sat in the bank and I had the corner office and everybody was probably looking at me in my suit and everybody was like, oh, she doing it.
Yep.
I wanted to be where they were at. I wanted to be outside of those four walls.
Yes,
I didn't want to be trapped. And like, if I didn't want to have to wait on somebody to say when I could go to lunch. And if I needed to go get my hair done in the middle of the day, or if I needed to. I was working so hard. If y'all go back to what I said, anytime they needed numbers, she would call me.
Would deliver.
And I would deliver. So when I got into real estate, and like I said, I was playing, I said, okay, Tarshema, you go back to what they taught you at that business, and you run it like a business, and you do that very thing. And it wasn't until I started to take what I thought that I had learned from the bank and started implementing that in my career. And I started coming in and I started treating it like my business, and it was my baby. So the lady that came in the bank, and she would come in and I was her advisor, and I would help her with her money and everything like that. I saw she was in real estate too, and so I was like, but she was kind of intimidated, so I never really kind of asked her any questions about anything. I just did what she needed and everything. So when I decided I wanted to place my brokerage, my license at a brokerage, I chose Keller Williams because they was the only person that was calling me back. So when I came to interview the office to just kind of get a feel for before I transitioned, I was like, let me make sure this is the right place for me to be in.
The right fit, right?
Exactly. So I came to the meeting, and this is like 3-4 years later.
Wow.
That little woman that used to come into the bank was the team leader, and she was the one, and I was like,
wow.
You know the first thing I said? but God.
Yes,
it ain't nobody but
he's
this.
so strategic.
Oh,
my
I was
gosh.
like, this is where I need to be.
Wow.
And you guys, I went from being in real estate, just doing it as a side business, to it being a business that has fortuned me. And I'm so humbled by it to be able to help bless other people.
Wow. Powerful. Because God, he's gonna bless you, but it's not just for you to be a blessing.
Oh yeah.
And that's exactly what you just said. When you were speaking, you said something. I wrote it down here, and I think this is really a good thing for you to write down as well. Run and operate your business like a business. So when she first started in real estate, she instantly went back to her training. When she was working at 9 to 5 and doing everything that they told her to do, showing up at what we had to be 8:15 for the team huddle, and get them sales goals for the day or the month or whatever, and we had to rally around and figure out how we was going to hit those goals and meet those quotas. She was there and she was on time and she operated in excellence. Yeah. So she had to take that same training. God is so strategic. He was preparing her. He was preparing her for now. Take that same training and apply it to her real estate business. And that's when you said it's almost like the lid popped off.
It did. It did. It did.
The pressure, it was cooking. Pressure cooker was boiling and then it popped.
It did.
So talk to us about what happened at that point.
So when I decided to really treat my business like a business, then one, I got a Bible, my holy Bible. And then the company offers us something, and they like to call it our real estate Bible. And so it tells you in there, how oftentimes we want to do things our way.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to do it the way that has been proven, that has worked. So if you want to be a hairstylist, find another hairstylist that has been great at what they do, and just don't reinvent the wheel.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I was trying to reinvent the wheel, and I went back to the basics. And when I did that, I just started to see my business unfold.
Wow.
So y'all, So what ended up happening is each year after year, now I'm in the top 20%. I was number 3 this quarter in my office. So
we need some hearts. We need some hearts, y'all. That's not easy to do.
It's not. And
wow.
I mean, y'all, I will tell you, I have seen the vision in other people. So, I've read the book. If you never read it, it's called Acres and Diamonds. It's talking about how you have business in your back door, in your backyard, and people are so intimidated. And a lot of times they don't want to tell you something because they think that if I tell you, you're going to take away from me. What God has for me is always for me.
Yes.
Every one of my clients, once I realize that they read the word, I tell them first up, when we have our consultation, I said, now, I don't show houses on Sundays. I said it's by appointment only because I got to go to church.
Amen.
And I said that's my Sabbath.
Yes.
So I go on more vacations. They call me in my office. They be like, I don't understand how she keep getting awards. And she always on vacation.
Because she's flowing in her gift.
I am. And
it is the grace of God.
It is. It's nobody but the grace of God.
Yes.
I mean, I have just recently, one of my mentees that has come in, I was sharing with him about the business in real estate, regardless of what your passion is. And it took him 3 years. He left the bank, and it took him 3 years. Now, he still has a full-time job.
Wow.
He has made over 6 figures. He started as a realtor in January.
What?
He has made over $100,000 in his real estate profession.
Wow.
And literally he was working in January, but he really started
to really pick up and really focus.
Like during the summer months, when you're talking about over $100,000 in a matter of 2 months.
Wow.
60, 90 days, no lie.
God is amazing. And it does not surprise me. It does not surprise me at all, because I know, I believe it's so strong in my spirit. Whatever, I'm talking about, whatever He has called you to do, He is faithful to bring it to fruition. He is faithful to provide, to give you, I always say, #provision. You don't have to worry about where the information is going to come, the tools, the resources, the business strategies. Our Heavenly Father knows all things. He can show you exactly what you need to do to get up and jump. And not just jump, but when you jump, to soar.
Right.
He can show you how to do that. Not everybody else, but God. You have to get with Him. He's the source and He's the creator. And I love bringing these amazing testimonies of these fearless entrepreneurs, because you have to be fearless to jump.
You do.
I love bringing these stories because I want you guys to be built up in your faith and understand that God is not a respecter of person. He did not create you to just sit here and just mosey through life. And if he's called you to a 9 to 5, praise God, that's fine. But he's called you to be the top of that company. Not sit at the bottom, but to be the head, to be in management, to be, overseeing people. He's called, because he said in his word, you're the head and not the tail. So I'm so passionate about people just getting up and moving and not sitting on their gift, because I truly believe that when everybody operating their gift, we all win.
We do.
And I can do and I'm going to do a whole broadcast about that, just by the people that are in my life operating their gift, how I'm winning. Right now, at the horrible thing, the grief that I'm dealing with, I am still winning because I have friends that are, I'm talking about soaring in their purpose. And they're not allowing me to just sit still and crawl up and ball up in the corner like I want to do most days. They're like, nope, get up, let's go. And I'm grateful for that. So who's waiting on you? Who's waiting on the other side of your obedience? And I know you may think it's just little old me. What do I have? Listen, it's not just little old you, because you got a huge God that resides on the inside of you. And when you die to self, that's when he rise up and overflow. The things that you guys see me doing and the things that you guys see Tarshema doing it's the overflow. It's God being really big and all of his glory flowing through us. We're just vessels. That's all. We're just the vessels.
It is.
Once you're willing to become a vessel, man, God can do some amazing things in your life, and he don't want you broke, okay? But listen, like he gave you your gifts to prosper, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody wants to be pinching pennies. We're kids of the King, okay? So we're supposed to be above and beyond and have more than enough. And once you get that in your spirit and you begin to believe that, you'll begin to see that manifest in your life. So Tarshema, I'm sorry, I just preached a sermon.
No, it made me think about the moment. It was a profound moment, because technically with my partner with the investment side of my business, I could make triple, quadruple the amount of money that I make now in my retail business. But one day, I remember like it was like clear as day. I woke up out of my sleep and I could feel God just speaking to me. Wow. And that's when I decided I was given the vision to go read the book that like blow this book off and read the book.
So So let me. I want to jump in because I want you to finish, but I want to take you because I always want to back it up with scripture. That's the truth. So Luke 5, Peter, God gave Peter instructions. He told him, go out a little from the land. This is when God is telling you to do something, you better move. He told him to go out a little from the land because guess what? He was getting ready to give him a download. He was getting ready to give him some instructions. Tarshema you said, were you asleep?
I was asleep.
She was asleep. God get up, go get the book. He's getting ready to give her a download. He's getting ready to give her some instructions, okay? So just like with Peter, and we're going to get to yours, he launched out, because God told him, launch out to the deep, let down your net for a drought. Peter, you know how we do? He complained to God, look, I toiled all day. I ain't catch nothing. I don't have nothing, God. I'm out here. We've done everything, God. We have not caught a fish. But at thy word, I'm going to let down this net. But that's your word, God. I'm going to let down this net. He let down the net, and he had so much fish, y'all. The net's broke. And then he had to call to his partner there. Hello, come on, bro. Come here. Come here. I need some help to bring in all these fish. And that's what happens at thy word. So here Tarshema is. God is not a respecter of person. He wake up out of her sleep. He give her the instructions. Get up. Go get the book. The real estate Bible. What happens next?
And he just, it was like, I could feel him telling me, do this. And then he took my mind back to when I was working at the bank. Wow. Because I was like, what am I supposed to do with this book?
So then he gave you the instructions.
The instruction was read the book, but go back to literally what had pained me in my training of what I knew how to do. Because I said, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And everything, the formula was in the book. It tells you if you want to get
the blueprint, the
blueprint was in the book. If you want to get from this to this, because I knew where I wanted to take it, because I was given the vision, like, okay, because like I said, my friend kept telling me, you are crazy. Why do you want to sell retail real estate? He was like, you are crazy. You know how much money you can make? But I said,
I love it.
I need my own.
Yes, I love it. And I love that you share your friend. They mean well, family, friends, people, they mean well, but God is not talking to them. And that's what this relationship comes when you got to be able to hear from him. He is always talking, y'all. I promise you. I used to be like, God ain't talking to me. Like, I don't hear nothing. It's not that you're going to hear an audible voice, Fallon, Tarshema, but you're going to know without a no. It's going to be so deep in your spirit, you have to move. Like, you're going to have to just get up and go. And that's when you know it's God. And that comes from spending time with him. You have to seek him, and you have to spend time with him to know him. And it could be 10 minutes a day. Just open up your word and just say, God, I just want to get in your presence, and I just want to just know more of you. I want a deeper, more intimate relationship with you. That's literally what I started saying. And 10 minutes turned to like hours now. And I'm sitting there, you know, studying and reading. My mom, what are you doing? I'm like, reading.
You have me now. You don't even know it. I go in my prayer class.
Yes. That's prayer closet. Man, I'm telling you.
I go in my prayer closet.
It goes down. Yeah.
I had to move stuff out the way.
I did too. Shoes.
And look, I went to go get sticky notes. I put scriptures up and everything. So
yes, I did the exact same thing. Because it did, like, I didn't have a whole lot of space at the time. So I'm like, it was so much going on. I'm like, I got to fight. And the only way I'm going to win this fight is with the word. And so that's powerful in and of itself. If you have not created your war room, it could literally be your bathroom. It could be a little small space. For me, it was in my closet. I pushed some shoes back and went to work. Okay, it went down every morning, 5:30 in there. Like, Nikki was like, but I don't know what's going on, but keep doing what you're doing. So that's how we get these powerhouse wives. And Tarshema gonna be a powerhouse wife soon too. So we're gonna
do it. Bring them, child. I want to do it.
So I pray that you guys were blessed. Do you have your? Okay, she has her phone here.
Do.
But so we can now we can open up for questions. But I want to take the time, Tarshema, to just thank you. Thank you so much for your transparency, for your heart. Like, this is perfect. You gave them so many nuggets. Like I said, if this don't jack your faith up, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Jump.
Because God is, I'm telling you, like, he is literally, I think I posted something on the Slave Ministry page that, you know, that God, he's waiting on you. Literally, he has the systems, the blueprint. I keep saying the strategies, the know-how. There are a lot of, and I'm just going to say, there are a lot of people on Instagram that are experts. I wish I had that scripture because it was so amazing. God broke it down. Like, I went to, I think it was the Message version, and talk about the experts of this day, and they don't know anything. Like, seek God. When I find that script, girl, it was powerful. When I find it, and I came across it like 2 or 3 times, so I know typically when God take me to a scripture 2 and 3 times, I'm like, okay, he's trying to give me a download. He's trying to tell me something. So that was for me to take my eyes off of the shiny objects, off of what everybody else doing, and focus on the assignment. Okay, so focus on what he's called you to do, and I promise you, you will soar. And when you soar, that means, you know what soar means. You're flying. Like, you're not failing. You know, you're not in lack. Like, you are literally soaring, and your needs will be met. I promise you, God is so faithful to his word. If anybody can tell you, I can tell you at this time in my life, I know God. Like, you know, I have experienced him. So I can emphatically tell you that I know he has your back, and he's going to get you through, you know, when you make that jump and you walk out. And even if he may be leading you to just transition out slowly, use wisdom. He may say, work your 9 to 5, and here's the strategy. Whatever he's leading you to do, just do it. That's the point of all of these broadcasts. So now we're going to open up. This is our time in the broadcast, guys. We open up for questions because, and I know that I would sit and I would watch interviews, and I'm like, oh, I wish I knew this. I wish I knew that. So I have amazing interviewees that come on here, and they're just amazing. They literally open up their hearts and like, Fallon, I'm available. They can ask me whatever. So ask the questions, whatever that's weighing on your heart. If you have a question on anything, on how you can walk in your purpose, now is the time to ask. We have Tarshema here, who has literally, I mean, she's walked on water.
You asked, I'm gonna give it to you. No sugarcoating.
She's walked on water, y'all. Like, literally, like
that's what it seems like.
Because she had nothing. Like, you literally had nothing.
I did, and for those that don't know, still to this day, my boyfriend, like, he makes way more money than I do.
Wow.
But when he was telling me, like, to do that, he's my partner, but I needed my baby.
Yes.
And my real estate business is my baby. I've been fortunate enough to bless other people, give
Amen.
people I have a team now.
Right.
So I have other people that are depending on me. Who knew? Little old me.
I'm glad you said that, because I think that's what some people are sitting here watching this broadcast like, I don't have anything. I don't know what I'm good at. You are, trust me, God, you are not just here by happen chance. Like, you are here for a specific, you know what specific means? Like, I'm talking about you are here for a specific reason. And Oprah Winfrey said this, so you can take this to the bank. She said that you need to basically spend your life discovering why you're here and spend a lifetime fulfilling it. When she said that, I was like, okay, Oprah. Like, literally, it's that important to just walk in your purpose. You know, and of course we can listen to Oprah. Like, look at her, come on,
right?
She's amazing.
She's definitely amazing in all that she does.
Yes, and her story is amazing. So when I heard her say that, I said, wow. Now, if Oprah had said that, then that definitely made me say, okay, I'm on the right path. So I just want to encourage you guys to discover it. Your gift is already in you. It's not something you got to go out and try to figure out how to do. It was put in you the day that you were formed. It's in you. Your job is to discover it and to, like the word says, stir up the gift that's on the inside of you. All right, so it seems like you guys don't have any questions.
Someone did ask a question.
Okay.
Let me go and get it. Someone asked a question, and I think it was about the book.
Okay. You turn it down.
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the book. The name of the book that I read, the one that's talking about like what God has for you is for you. That's Acres and Diamonds.
Okay.
And that's talking about you have things already in your backyard that you just need to touch out instead of trying to go figure something else out. So kind of going back to just what Fallon said.
Wow.
And the real estate book that I've read is Keller Williams, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Wow.
Which is definitely giving you,
That's
I'm probably like a third, right, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and they tell you exactly everything that you need to do. Also, anybody that's maybe looking into getting into real estate, because like I said, I had a gentleman, I was talking to him for 3 years and telling him, you should do this, you should do this.
I think this is a great segue to go into what you have to offer. So talk to us about what you offer, your products, your services, your mentorship, whatever it is.
Awesome.
I want you to share because I want my girls to push through. And if they want to buy a house, I want them to come to Tarshema.
Thank you, Fallon. Anybody that has any questions, one, I'll tell you, if you have questions about real estate or if you have questions just about like, how do I get started? What do I do? Oftentimes people that say, I want to get into real estate. I will tell you this. Don't get into real estate for the money. Get into it because you want to help people. Because if you get into it for the money, it's not all bells and whistles at what you think it is. Just as much as it is, but we enjoy taking the pictures. What the people see is the pictures at the closing table. But you don't see all the crying and things that it takes, and you become a counselor, a grief counselor to people a lot of times when it comes to like, oh my gosh,
so
like
it needs to be your gift.
It got to be your
something
gift.
In you. Yeah.
So just like I tell people, this was for me. Yours may be being a baker. Yours may be being having in your own group home if you're into helping children.
Right.
So whatever it is, just do it. You can reach me. I am on Instagram at Tarshema, my realtor. And that's like the tar you drive on every single day, Tarshema, my realtor. I am on Facebook at Tarshema Sells Homes, or you can reach me at Tarshema Harris. My phone number directly is 678-609-8289. In any way that I can help you, I just appreciate following you, and I just watch you and admire you with everything that you do and how you touch people. You know how they say you never know who's watching you? So she was watching me while I'm watching her.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's like the strongest woman that I know. So, you know. So, hey, I will definitely tell you. To this day, I would say my mother who told me to be a nurse, she's always been my backbone. She just asked me this morning before my interview, she said, you ever thought about going back to college? Why? I make more money than people who have college degrees.
Yes.
And it's not to say I'm, you know.
Because all that doesn't matter. Once you, at that word, once you hearken to the voice of God, your prosperity, your happiness, your peace, your joy, all of it is wrapped up in your purpose.
I'm doing what I should be doing.
Amen. So, and I love that you said that because you don't want to kind of run behind the money.
No.
You chase money, you're going to always come up short.
You will.
I've been there.
You will.
Done that. I've gone across country for some money. Came up short. Okay? I'm talking about literally across country. Tacoma, Washington. By myself. My mom was like, you independent. Go, girl. That's another broadcast. So don't chase money. Don't chase money.
No.
Chase your purpose. And when you chase your purpose and your assignment, then God takes care of your account.
It will
And everything else you need. Your bills, all that stuff. So, let's see. You're so welcome. Yes, it was an amazing story, and I'm so glad that we finally connected. Like, she was out of town, so y'all, she not playing.
I was like, let me check my calendar.
Yeah, like, she literally was out of town, so we had to push this thing back, but I'm so glad that we were able to catch up with this amazing woman of God, and we were able to share her amazing testimony, and I pray that you guys were inspired and encouraged. Her turnaround time, from what I see on social media, is amazing with houses. Like, literally, she is turning these houses over really fast, meaning she's helping her clients fulfilling the dream of becoming homeowners. So if you're sitting there,
ready.
yeah, and I was gonna say your credit, whatever, I know she can help you. Just if you feel it in your heart that God is leading you to purchase a home, contact her. She is gifted in this area to get you in a home. Okay, so just trust that and pray on it, and just let God work through her to get you in that home that you're praying and believing for. I really believe
they got to be okay with one thing though.
What is it?
All my clients don't, because they go in a house and they love it, and I always tell them, what God has for you is for you. Any of my clients that see this video, you make sure you like and love, because you'll know I tell you that.
That's good.
Don't fall and pray on it. My clients are not sure. I said, go home, tell God, thank you for this new house. Put it up on your refrigerator.
Yes.
Pray about it.
Oh,
and all things.
I want to talk about one more thing, because this is so good. Your office.
Yeah.
Yes, we gotta talk about her office, y'all, because she didn't have an office at first.
Oh no.
She didn't have an office at first, and so talk to them about what you did when you were believing God for the very office we're in right now. Okay, right now.
So I went back to the basis. I said, okay, I had an office. I had all of these things. I didn't have the money to pay for this stuff. So I ended up going, and I said, okay, I'm going to get an office. And when they were telling me how much it was going to cost me to have an office, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to come in here, go, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I started going to every class they were having. I was going to every training event that they had. But being in the office helped me to be around other people.
Love it.
Little did I know that with being in the office, the relationships that I was going to have. I'm on the leadership council here in my office. I've sat in leadership roles on the board of realtors where we make the decisions.
And you have your own team now, too, as well.
I do. I have my own team now as well. And I have a team of 4 people.
Now, the lady that was walking out of the bank with no job, not wondering how she was going to pay her house months behind, walking to her car like, what am I going to do? She's sitting here today, a successful CEO, a girl, #girl boss, okay? And she has a team of 4 people underneath her that's helping her to fulfill the vision.
And look, one of my teammates is a world changer as well. So like,
she was, God said, strategic.
Strategic.
Yes.
When I say strategic.
And I wanted to talk about with the office, how she told me that she couldn't get the office.
Oh, yes.
And what you did.
The women. So before I came to this office where we were at, it was going through some challenges. And, they were like, we didn't know if it was going to stay open, what it was going to do. So my team leader and 3 or 4 other women, they walked around this office, y'all, and they prayed.
Come on, yes.
They prayed about this office and over this office and what it was going to come. If I got her out of her office right now, she would tell you. They prayed and said, things are going to turn around for this office. And it did. Like, my office now is on the rise, and just seeing how things have changed. And those women, they prayed, and some of them are not even here, but they talk about that, how we was like, the devil is a lie. I knew I was in the right place.
The word works.
If you work it, I promise you.
The word works. I didn't hear her say they went and got some big fancy business loan.
No.
She said her and 3 of her co-workers or friends marched around, prayed the word, and spoke to that thing. God said you can speak to the mountain.
Yeah.
And it shall be moved and cast into the sea. They spoke to this office we're sitting in right now. That's why I want to drive.
I wasn't here then when they did that.
Wow.
I wasn't here then, but when they told me that testimony, I was like, oh, this is where
this was supposed to be. Yes.
Even the culture of just the office, we pray before we do things. We pray over things when it's challenge. We pray. Like, so you don't get that everywhere. Well, I won't be able to be at the bank praying with those people. They've been looking at me like,
you gotta go. You gotta go.
So I'm right where I needed to be. Even when it comes to my teammate Jennifer, she's here with me. I tell you, when people, sometimes I go through things on my worst day, when my clients and things are not going right, and I could cry because it's nothing but God. I pick up the phone and I call her, and I'm calling her with like a monkey list of things to do, and she like, good morning, hi, how are you?
I love it.
So, and
love it.
and her husband are both a part of the team. He's a part of the investment side. So God has just been able to bless.
He brought that thing full circle.
All
he
of
brought
them.
it full circle. I got
None of me.
Amen. Well, we thank you so much, Tarshema. I'm sorry, I keep getting alerts, guys. Okay. He brought that thing full circle. Thank you again. You have to pray and speak. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so we are going to go ahead because we don't want to hold it too long. She got some clients to see. She has to run her business.
We'll put a sign in the yard.
Yeah, she's working, but she took time out of her schedule to pour into you guys. So that shows her heart. You know, she didn't have to do this interview, but I'm grateful because I love my girls. I care about them, and I want to see them push through in their purpose and slay the enemy and defeat every giant that hit their life. And this is one area where they can really like knock him out is by walking in their purpose, because the devil does not want to see you soar and do what God has called you to do. So thank you for sharing this amazing testimony. Guys, if you, like I said, connect with Tarshema on all of her social media platforms. So I'll have her after this broadcast. Just type in her information like in the comments, and you guys can make sure that you connect with her. She's an amazing woman of God to follow, and just, you know, to reach out to if you are looking, if you feel like God is leading you to get into real estate, and or if you're looking to purchase a home. Of course, you have to call Tarshema. I give her my full stamp of approval. She is amazing. So we're going to end this broadcast. I pray that you guys have an amazing weekend. You enjoy the rest of your Friday. One last thing that I want Tarshema to share with you guys is, do you have any last words of wisdom for any entrepreneur out there that is in fear? They know that God is telling them to do something, and they just don't know what to do. What words of wisdom or advice would you have for that person?
Well, in everything that you do, pray. And everything, the least things. You know, when you know, I often tell God, when the small things, you thank God for the little things. And you ask him for clarity, and he will give it to you. But you got to really be specific when you pray and you come to God and you speak with him. Make sure that you have your private time for him. I wake up in the morning and I say my affirmations. So I mean, just little simple things. Thank you, God, for my business. Thank you for the new customers that are going to come to me, the new clients that I'm going to receive. I also will tell you, too, that don't listen to what other people, because a lot of times people will tell you not to do something, but just imagine 5-10 years from now, or where would I be if I hadn't done that? And I will tell you some transparent things about me. My business has been able to help me live a life by design that I'm able to help financially my family members, and just be in a place. I wrote a letter to myself when I took a class, and it was called Bold. It's a class that we take here. You see these, I take them, and when I took the class, you write a letter to yourself, and they mail it to you a year later.
What?
And the letter is talking, you write a letter to your future self. And you all can do the same exercise. Write a letter today. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today.
I love it.
Write a letter to your future self of all the things that you want and that you desire and that you're going to have to come fruition. Everything on my list, besides me having my LASIK surgery, has come to fruition. I'm able to fly. My family all lives an 8-hour drive from me. I'm able to get on that flight like nothing now. And that was in my letter of being able to do that. It was in my letter to be able to pay off my car. It was in my letter to be able to, you know, be able to. In order for me to have children, guys, I have to have in vitro. And this is a very, very transparent moment. Nobody knows this. And it's expensive. In order for me to be able to do that, I had to have a career that I could have. That could
glory to God. Amen.
So I don't want to cry, but you know, it's just God led me to share that with you, because it may be you who are experiencing something that you want to be able to do. And you maybe need to financially be able to do it.
I love it.
I'm just telling you, whatever it is that you want to do, pray about it, take the leap and jump, because you will regret not doing it.
Y'all, she just dropped the nuggets on you. Glory to God. Thank you. You see why? Do you see why I had to bring her? Like, I'm picky about y'all. I don't just bring anybody before y'all, but I'm so grateful that she shared that. Thank you so much, Tarshema. All right, guys. Well, you have an amazing day. Do not forget don't let this sun go down without you writing that letter to yourself. They love you. Look at those hearts.
Yay! I feel all the love.
Do not let this day, the sun go down without you writing that letter to yourself, and be bold and jump and trust God at his word. I pray you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. And we will see you guys on
all
the
these
next
new
podcast.
entrepreneurs that we're going to have.
Yes.
We're going to see those letters a year from now. So
Amen.
we want to hear back from you.
Yes, please. I'm glad you said that. Write in. I want to hear. So when you, a year from now, when everything is coming to fruition, I want you to email us at the Slay Ministry. It's Fallon@FallonBonner.com. Shoot me an email. I would love to highlight your story and possibly come out and interview you.
Yes.
Who knows? All right, guys. Have an amazing, amazing weekend.
Bye.
Bye guys.